Generally, every morning we go in and we call the reviews from the prior day. As you know, this past year, we stopped posting the reviews until they have been verified. So no review hits the site, that way that there's no review that goes up and then comes down. No review hits the site until it's been verified. So every review comes in, we talk to the dealership employee at the dealership in their environment, confirm that the review is legitimate, and then it goes live. Yesterday I had an interesting experience on the long flight out here. It was the gentleman next to me was reading automotive news, and he started talking about dealerships. He leaned over to me and said something about his industry conference, and so we struck up a conversation. And he said, "You look familiar." And I said, "Oh, have you heard of driving sales?" He said, "Driving sales? Yeah, I know what driving sales is." And I've used the vendor ratings. And it turns out this guy was the CIO of one of the top 5 largest dealer groups in the nation, so one of the publicly traded groups. I don't want to get into all of the details, but the point of it was he's coming to NATA to search for 2 big technology platforms for quite a few dealerships. And he went through and explained to me how the vendor ratings have helped influence him right there on the plane, of course, thanks to Delta and whatever it is, whatever, the little Wi-Fi thing they got. We got online, and right there together, he went through the vendor ratings platform, he and I together online, and he showed me which reviews resonate with him and why. We talked about some of the concerns that were brought up in some of the reviews and how those are going to affect his negotiations as he asks and prods. But for me, the core takeaway was this. Just like we talked to the dealers about how it isn't about just optimizing a single web page, it's about optimizing an entire journey that their customers go through. I would argue that next to your product demo, next to your team working with the dealer directly to demo and get familiar with the product itself, that the validation that a dealer gets from their peers is probably the most important piece of that journey.